I know you're excited about our guest.
Super excited. Thanks, Neil. It's a great morning. And we have Shay Brown, who's the founder of Easy Sales Hub and the innovator of the Evergreen Revenue Model, scaling businesses to 6 and 7 figures. He is the creator of the 7 figure sales team system that generates over $100,000 in monthly income. Shay, welcome to the Stay on Course podcast. How are you today?
Well, it's a great day, Julie. It's a great day to both of you. I couldn't think of a better place to be than right here with you and your audience. So thanks for having me here. And thanks for all that you do, by the way. You both are doing an amazing job giving a great message to the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Shay. This is the Stay on Course podcast, Ingredients for Success. We're going to get right into ingredients for success. But before I get started, I throw out a question to you, and it is, what is your favorite food, Shay?
My favorite food to eat is spaghetti. Now, the reason I like spaghetti because I like having lamb meat inside of the spaghetti, by the way. And the sauce is so incredible, especially when my wife fixes it and puts all the hot ingredients in there with the hot peppers and so forth. It's not the best food for people, but I love spaghetti. I
Okay.
know that's simple, but I'm a simple guy.
It's like comfort food. It's good. It's good for you.
Yeah. And I used to use
Anything
it as an
homemade.
excuse. As, as,
Yeah,
as
I
a
like.
person who's run 5 marathons, I use it as an excuse to keep putting all the carbs inside of me.
We all need our guilty pleasures, but today we are going to talk about business success. You have been in business quite a while and have a successful business. We want to hear your 3 ingredients for success, and let's have a conversation around those ingredients. And hopefully, somebody here listening today will get some ideas on how to be more successful today in their business.
So for the person out there watching right now, congratulations. There are 3 ways to really elevate your success. And this is something I learned from a guy by the name of Eric Lofholm. It's about 20 years ago now. Jesus, I'm getting old. And I was at one of his events. By then I'd been bankrupt. I'd been laid off. I was out of money. And I was there to really learn business principles. And he shared these 3 ideas with me that I've used now for the last 20 years. It's helped me and many of the clients that I work with. So if you got paper and pencil, jot this down in your notes. There's 3 ways. Number 1, we call it the inner game. Number 2, the outer game. And number 3, the action is action. Let me give you 1 sentence definition. I'm coming right back to you, Julie. But a 1 sentence definition, this is very important. So lean in, all of you, right now, because this will change your life. Easy idea, but it works. Number 1, the inner game is the mental side of success. So it's your mindset, it's your belief systems, it's your comfort zone, it's how you go about really dealing with things in the inside. It doesn't all start there. The second way is the outer game for success. The outer game is all the tactical things you've got to do to be successful. It's your time management, it's your goal setting, it's your relationships, it's your collaboration. It's all things you can't do by yourself because success is a team sport. And the
Yeah.
third way, coming back to you now, and this is the one that holds people back. And that's why I love the title, Stay on Course. It's about action. And action is really moving yourself to do the things you don't feel like doing, going to the gym, working out, eating the right foods, making the phone calls, whatever you got to do, taking action even when you're fearful. You take massive action and you stay consistent. My promise to you, you will be successful in whatever area of life you're looking to be successful in.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off this, Julie, and then jump back to you. Let's go to the third one when he talked about it's bottom line is taking action. And in sales, which you're a sales guru, you're teaching people to be a sales guru. So if you don't take action, you're not going to have success. And a lot of times people give up too quickly. They don't understand. Sometimes when our backs are against the wall, we perform the best, or we know we're in our last leg. We know we're in a specific position. Everything's again, and that's probably where I make a mistake is I thrive the best under pressure. When the pressure's on, I deliver. It doesn't matter if it's booking a celebrity guest, doesn't matter getting a sale. It doesn't matter about bringing on new leads or making a change in the business. When backs are against the wall, I do the very best and I take action because if I'm seeing no slower sales, or I'm seeing not as big celebrities on my show, or I'm seeing specifically enough, not as much growth on certain things with my team or my vision or whatever, then I have to say, okay, am I taking the right action steps? Am I really going out and saying what I want to do? A lot of times, the whole someday island thing that Brian Tracy talked about. Someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to start a business. Someday I'm going to do this. Someday, when I use my word, when I hear someday now, I know I refuse to say someday. It's going to happen. it's a course, but it's action. If you don't see as much money in your bank account, it's because you didn't take action. You agree?
So the answer to your question is I agree and I agree, but there's also taking the direct action as it relates to the discipline that you have to have in your business. See, one of the biggest challenges that I believe a number of entrepreneurs have, and I have, I was working with a client of mine, her name is Kathy, and Kathy was really excited because she was working with her coach, she's working with another program, and she was taking massive action in her business. And you're right. It starts there. You've got to start at least showing up in the gym doing the reps. But here's the challenge. Here's the question I asked her, because powerful people ask powerful questions because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get exactly what you focus on. So if you're someone that's a person of massive action, because sometimes our biggest strength can be our biggest weakness, I asked this question to you. And this question I asked Kathy, and it really helped change it. And here it was. Do we have movement or do we have progress? Now, it's you're not gonna get blown away. You're not gonna jump up and down and get excited.
If I don't have progress, it's unexcusable. That's right.
Absolutely. So when you take a massive action, the checkpoint is, and we always check in, right? That's one thing successful people do. You talk about the ingredients of success. They review what's working, review what's not what's working, even when it looks dangerous. And one of the things we talked about was what areas can I make progress in and pull back some of the movement. So it's not just all about going. Right. Sometimes you do small things well, you get big results because small hinges swing big doors. You do that and you will be successful and you'll stay on course.
That's awesome. And okay, so let's go back. I want to take it back because Shay dropped some gems here. We talked about it's like the inner game, the outer game, and the taking the action. And to me, it really encompasses everything. But I want to take it back to the inner game and talk about the outer game as well, because we talked about action. You guys got right into the action.
It's because the action.
It got right into it.
So Julie, I'm going to jump really, and then we're going to get to these. This is where I think, Shay, I'm saying is you're identifying your goals, you're going after specific things, but then you're not. Then a lot of people I talk to every day, Shay, from every business, everything, it looks like they have all these great ideas, but they never take action. So that's why, but I want to let's go back to Julie in the inner game.
All right, we're going to go back to the inner game because this encompasses all of the training classes that I do. So Shay, you basically gave the snapshot of a program that I've done. It's for managers, it's for leaders, but it really speaks to the inner game, the outer game, and the action, right? It has all of those components, but let's go to the inner game. The inner game is where it all starts, right? We need to be telling ourselves the right stories. If we don't tell ourselves the stories and we don't understand our purpose and we don't understand our personality and really understand ourselves on a deep level, then we cannot hold a space for the next two spaces. We have to be able to tell ourselves the right stories. We have to get to a place where we have decided to do this, because I work with a lot of clients and they're stuck. But it's all in that inner game space that it begins, right, Shay?
Yeah. And I'll relate it to business if I can. The number one challenge facing entrepreneurs today is not having enough revenue in their business to execute the vision they have for the people they were called to serve. And the reason they don't have enough resources is because they're not making enough sales. It all comes back to sales, because sales 100%. Is the oxygen for every great business in history. And without sales, there's always more money going out. I'm going to mindset than there is coming in. What's the point I want to make to you? Selling is serious business. So a number of entrepreneurs have a high resistance to selling because they think in our culture, we've been taught that it's icky, it's a used car salesman, it's forcing someone to do someone. So they have this mindset when they're trying to sell someone that they got to force them or convince them or persuade them to buy their product or service. And that's not the case. Here's the 3-word definition I want you to have for selling for the audience. If you change the mindset around this was my shift, by the way, for many of my clients. And here it is: selling equals service. Selling equals service. Selling, really, at the end of the day, this is a mindset. This is just the belief system. You don't have to adopt it, but I'll tell you, if you believe that selling is about education, number one, you educate someone on the problem that exists in the world, whether they work with you or not. Number two, you then share how you solve that problem, whether they work with you or not. And then last, if they want to work with you, great. And if not, no big deal. But if you change just that mindset, that belief system, guess what? Well, you'll see a change in results. Focus on serving. Last point, don't chase the money, add value, and the money will chase you.
See, and that's why he's a sales guy. Okay. Julie and I want you to get your feedback, but this is my feedback on this. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you give somebody the best offer possible and they don't turn it and they don't say yes to it, then it wasn't something that they wanted and you move on. You want to give them some. I certain clients, like I have one named Dr. Charles Simkovich. He cures concussions and CTE. He is like the cure for cancer. Ultimately, you get that in front of the people are going to buy. The thing that people make the mistake on, you're right, the used car salesman thing, I'm going to sell you this product, call 100 people, telemarketers, and think that's the way I need to sell. It's not. This is a story, a relationship. You're trying to build a relationship for a lifetime with somebody when you sell them something. And if you aren't giving them service and all that stuff, and you're not looking at the bottom line, their success versus what money am I going to get in my pocket, you will never be successful in sales. You might chase the money, you might make money, but you're ultimately going to constantly be chasing.
I love it. I love it. All right. In the interest of time, let's talk about that outer game, the process piece of it, getting all of your processes in place and the networks in place, because you mentioned that as entrepreneurs and in any business, we don't do this alone. And there's so many people that we can be connecting to. Let's talk a little more about that, Shay.
Sure. The outer game is the tactical side of selling. And so one of the biggest challenges that entrepreneurs have, we all have a CEO. Let's call ourselves CEOs. We're in charge of the company. We're the one to allocate the sales people, the sales resources, and the sales processes to the sales department, by the way. So you as the CEO, you're at the end of the day, you're responsible. But here's one area, one tactical side, because that's the things you got to do. I will mention there's a number of entrepreneurs, the CEO just don't have enough leads coming into the business. That means lead generation is your responsibility as a CEO. You're the Messiah. You signed up to go save the world, is to go out and get the message in front of as many people as possible who then may look at your company as being findable. So you don't go find people and say, I got to go find someone to sell today. That's not how it works. You make yourself findable. The people come to you, and those are leads. Then you talk about how you solve the problem. So I call it lead generation offers. That's one of the tactical things you got to do. There's a lot of other pieces to it, but here's what I'll close with. Leads represent hope. When you look at your database as a CER and you're talking to your sales department, if they're not leads coming in, there's probably no hope of getting to the revenue target you need to get to if there's not enough leads coming in. And why do I say that real quick? Because you can go back to existing clients, you can sell them. That doesn't grow the business, that grows the revenue. What grows the business is you solving a bigger problem in the world. And the more problems you solve for more people, the more the company's able to grow. And we all struggle with that. I'm not saying I've got the halo over here, but I will tell you this: you focus as an entrepreneur on leads and lead generation offers, your business will shift.
I love that. And we've been learning today about all these different aspects. Shay, what do you want to leave our audience with today? What do you want them to really think about and bite into as they stop listening to this podcast today?
What I would share with them as I close would be control the controllables. I'm blessed to be a caregiver for Mother Dear. Talk about success in life. Mother Dear is 77 years old. She has Parkinson's. And, I never thought I would see myself in a place where I'm taking care of Mother. But I've got to make sure that I can only control the things I can do. There's some things I can't control. Can't control what goes on in health. Can't control what happens with the medicine. But what I can control is how I respond, how I act, and the plan of action I have. So if you're watching right now, you say, man, Shay, what's one of the best pieces of advice you can give for someone to stay the course? I'll say control the controllables. Right. Focus on the things you can control and be all in. Don't dibble and dabble. Don't sit on the sidelines. No. Jump all in. And if you do that in any area of success, whether it's in your relationship, I'm on my third marriage. Don't judge me. We've been together 15 years now. So but it took me 2 to get it right. If you get it wrong, get right back in. Control the controllables.
Right. Control the controllables. Shay, what are you working on now, and where can our audience find out more about you?
Sure. What we're working on now is actually saving the world, making a bigger difference. And I would say go to comebackchampionsummit.com. It's a free summit. There's no cost. There's no charge. But we have a number of folks like yourself and others who are just experts at what they do. And they're sharing their area of expertise so you can have a better life and you can get the goals and things you want in life. So go to comebackchampionsummit.com. It's my gift. There's no cost. But it's a good way for you to connect with other people.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you so much, Shay. It's been a pleasure having you on today.
Anytime talking sales. I love it. All right. That was a special simulcast with Neil.